The rule arrived the way many uncomfortable things do in families, dressed as something reasonable. Adults only, my sister announced one year, smiling like she'd solved a logistical problem no one else had noticed. She said it lightly, like preference, not policy. It just makes things easier, she added. You know how chaotic kids can be. Everyone nodded. Because technically, she wasn't wrong. Children are chaotic. Gatherings are noisy. Adults like calm. That's the protective camouflage of socially acceptable exclusion. It rarely sounds cruel. It sounds practical. The first birthday my daughter missed felt like an exception. The second felt like awkwardness. By the third, it had become tradition. No arguments ever erupted, no confrontations ever happened. The rule simply repeated itself until it stopped feeling like a decision and started feeling like gravity. Adults only this year too, same plan as always. Hope you understand. Hope you understand. That phrase carries a peculiar kind of pressure. It frames compliance as emotional maturity. So I complied. Year after year I arranged babysitters, made polite excuses to my daughter, performed the small emotional gymnastics required to keep peace inside something that never quite sat right. The strange part, my daughter never protested. She would just nod. Children are observant in ways adults underestimate. They don't always demand explanations, they assemble patterns. And absence is a very clear pattern. By year 6 the discomfort had changed shape. It wasn't sharp anymore. It was dull, familiar, almost procedural. When I began planning my own party, a modest thing, nothing elaborate, the guest list didn't feel like strategy. It felt like muscle memory. Names appeared, others didn't, not out of revenge, out of symmetry. For 6 years, my life had quietly adapted to my sister's boundaries. Now, without much emotional ceremony, my boundaries simply mirrored the architecture I'd been taught to accept. No children. Her children included. The party itself unfolded peacefully at first. Laughter, music, the comfortable noise of people enjoying themselves. Then the door opened. No dramatic entrance. Just my sister, standing there with the unmistakable energy of someone arriving inside a reality they hadn't rehearsed. She scanned the room. Her eyes moved quickly, searching for something specific. Then she looked at me. Where are my kids? No greeting. No preamble. Just confusion sharpened by expectation. I took a sip of my drink. Calm though not entirely steady inside. Ate home. A pause. What do you mean at home? It's an adults-only party. The silence that followed was immediate and heavy. Not because of volume, because of recognition. Her expression shifted rapidly, confusion first, then disbelief. Are you serious? Yes! Another pause, longer this time. But you know I have kids. I do. The room had begun to notice now. Conversations thinning, attention bending subtly toward the tension. That doesn't make any sense. It was fascinating watching the rule collapse under reversed direction. For 6 years it had been airtight logic. Now, suddenly irrational. I met her eyes. It made sense for 6 years. Her face tightened. That's different. Is it? The question wasn't aggressive, just precise. She laughed, but there was no humor in it. You can't compare those situations? I'm not comparing. I paused. I'm following precedent. That word landed strangely between us. Precedent. A legal-sounding term for something deeply emotional. Her voice rose slightly. So this is some kind of punishment. And there it was, the narrative she needed. Conflict, retaliation, drama, because those are easier to process than structural reflection. It's not punishment. It feels like punishment. It felt like something else for 6 years. She stared at me. Genuinely unsettled now. Because for the first time, the rule was no longer theoretical, no longer abstract, no longer cushioned by social language. It was personal, visible, concrete. You're being petty. Maybe, I said quietly. The honesty caught her off guard. But not inaccurate. The room had gone almost completely silent. Family members frozen inside that uncomfortable space where long-standing dynamics finally surface into language. My sister looked around, as though searching for reinforcement that wasn't arriving. For years, her rule had existed inside passive agreement. Now agreement had nowhere safe to stand. "This is unbelievable," she said. But her voice had changed, less certain. More strained. The strange thing was, I didn't feel victorious, I felt tired, relieved, and unexpectedly sad. Because clarity, when it finally arrives, rarely feels triumphant. It feels like acknowledging something everyone already knew but collectively avoided naming. "I just wanted adult gatherings," she said defensively. "I just wanted my daughter included." Another silence. No clever reply came this time. No immediate dismissal, only discomfort. Which, for the first time, was evenly distributed. She left not long after, not storming, not reconciled, just unsettled. After the party, as I cleaned up empty glasses and quiet rooms, the emotional residue lingered. Nothing had been resolved. Nothing had been fixed, but something had shifted. Because once a pattern is spoken aloud, it becomes very difficult for it to return to invisibility, and invisibility had always been the real mechanism of power.